Oh, good. Thank you. Guess who on that front
Yeah.
picture?
Great picture.
Her name is Thelma.
Oh, hi, Thelma.
Oh, melodies in your head play over and over, listening to doubt about how life has turned out. I'm here to tell you it's not over, not over. Time to rise again. It's what life is about. Yeah, don't you know? This road we travel twists again and again. We can never go back, so keep on looking ahead. I'm here to love you again and again. Find you, remind you to never give in. Never give in. Oh, get up. I know you have it in you. Get up. I know the truth of you. Get up. You've been on the ground too long, singing the same old sad song. If you get up, I know you will carry on. Carry on. Carry on. Life is not a fantasy. Look closer, look closer. There is a richness beyond what you dream. Your highest self is getting closer and closer. Faith will make a way, believe it to see. Yeah, believe it to see. Come on, get up, get up, get up. I know you have it in you. Get up, get up, get up. I know the truth of you. Get up. You've been on the ground too long, singing the same old sad song. If you get up, I know you will carry on. Carry on.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for that very uplifting and get us moving music. So while Reverend Trish is warping back into Eastern time zone after being in Africa for a while, she invited me, gave me the opportunity to be the I like to call it the MC for the morning. So first of all, I'd like to thank our team. Dan, I want to thank you for that beautiful music, that uplifting music. I love Amy Steinberg. It's Sandy, who is our practitioner of the day, and Jason Mohammed, who will be our speaker today. Oh, what a great day. And I want to welcome everyone. I want to welcome everybody here on Zoom and on Facebook. I'm Reverend Jackie Labar. I'm the assistant minister here at CSL Metro. And at this center, we have a vision. And our vision is that the Center for Spiritual Living Metro is a dynamic force, a powerful science of mind presence in the heart of the Washington, D.C. metro area. And that we attract, celebrate, and serve diverse populations, embracing unique expressions of the divine from all walks of life, locally and internationally. Our vibrant community, both online and in person, is transforming the world by awakening it to oneness and peace. And our multifaceted science of mind presence is a magnet for spiritual seekers. And here at CSL Metro, what we do is we provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation to support humanity awakening to a spiritual magnificence. For we all know that as we change, it sends ripple effects throughout the world and changes everyone. And we talk about both local and international, and I want to welcome Josh and Arlene, who are here with us from the Philippines. Welcome. Ah, and welcome home to everyone. Welcome, Carl, for coming this morning. We appreciate having new faces, and I see that Rachel's on also, who comes almost most Sundays, if not all Sundays. Our we have a great cell phone policy, and that is to keep your cell phone handy and to reach out to your friends and invite them to join us here on Zoom. And because of our technical difficulties today, watching us later on Facebook. Sandy Menacing is our practitioner of the day today, and all the rest of our practitioners will be holding us in consciousness for the highest and best for everyone involved here. And so it's a great pleasure now to turn this over to Sandy. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you. Please pardon my odd voice. Whoops. Yes, okay. My odd voice today. I have been traveling and came back with something I didn't particularly care to come back with. But please join me in our affirmation, which will come up in just a moment. There we are. Please say it aloud. And if there's a cacophony of voices, that's fine. Or if you're muted, that's fine too. There is a power for good in the universe that is greater
than
I am.
and I am
I am
using it
Using
now.
it now.
I am using it
using it
to do my part to create a world that works for all.
Oh,
Together,
Together,
we inspire individuals to awaken to their own divinity. We are here to make a huge
huge difference.
We are.
Yep, we are.
And I'll just do a brief centering right now to get us into the space for being together in this celebration. If you wish, close your eyes and just go within and breathe and listen to this music.
Though I may speak with bravest fire and have the gift to all inspire and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, and not be given by love within, the prophet soon turns strangely thin.
Thank you, Dan, for that music. And now I'd just like to say a prayer for our service today, knowing that each and every one of us is here by divine appointment. We are just where we are meant to be. and we open our hearts and our minds to take in the message today and to take in this fellowship together and to celebrate this wondrous life that each of us has been given. And so to get ready for our talk today, I have chosen three very short readings. The first one comes from Meister Eckhart. Truly, it is in the darkness that one finds the light. So when we are in sorrow, then this light is nearest to all of us. And from Norman Vincent Peale, no matter how dark things seem to be or actually are, raise your sight and see possibilities. Always see them, for they are always there. And then this old Chinese proverb, you cannot prevent the birds of sorrow from flying over your head, but you can prevent them from building nests in your hair. I love that. And now a piece of music before I introduce our speaker for today.
Whoever we think we are. Wherever we think we're headed, whatever we're going through right now, there's a truth behind it all, about the stuff we're really made of. And that greatest truth of all is that in His image, God has made us. And if that's true, then just think about what it says for me and you. God is light, and so are we. God is love, and so are we. God is life, and so are we. It's truth that cannot be denied. God is power, and so are we. God is peace, and so are we. God is beauty and joy, and so are we. That's the truth of ourselves and the truth of all mankind.
Yes, that is the truth. And so it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Jason Muhammad, who is a practitioner with us here at CSL Metro and who is also in the midst of training to become a CSL minister. And so without further ado, Jason, I hand it over to you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Sandy. I appreciate that. Is everyone able to hear me? All right, wonderful. So as Sandy said, my name is Jason Muhammad, and I've been a member of this community since 2015. And this particular subject, pain pushes until vision pulls, it's something that, I have certainly felt within my life, and I think that we can all definitely relate to this one. I'd like to begin with a story, actually. And this story is really from a more Christian perspective. It's the community in which I borrowed the story from. But I believe it opens up or helps us to illustrate some of the main points in this talk, or in this subject, rather. So I'll start off by sharing this story about a surgeon And this surgeon was working on this young boy who was in a real predicament with his heart. And he wants to describe to the child and his parents what he'll be doing. He begins by saying, I'm going to open up your heart tomorrow. But before he can continue, the little boy interrupts him and says, and you're going to find God there. The surgeon was annoyed. Why is this child cutting me off? I need to give his parents the information about what's going to happen. So he begins again. I'm going to cut your heart open. I want to see how much damage has been done. And the boy interrupts again. But when you open up my heart, you're going to find God there. The surgeon tried to ignore the child and just look at the parents. When I see how much damage has been done, I'll sew your heart and your chest back up, and then I'll plan what to do next. The boy chimes in again. But you will find God in my heart. The Bible says he lives there. The hymns all say that he lives there. You will find God in my heart. The surgeon was really flabbergasted. He had enough of this child. There was something inside of him that was really not only annoyed, but just filled with anger. And so he says out loud, he has like an outburst, and he says, I'll tell you what I'll find in your heart. I'm going to find damaged muscle. I'm going to find a low blood supply. I'm going to find weak blood vessels, and I will find out if I can make you well. And the boy calmly says, and you will find God there too. And the surgeon was just done with this child. He leaves, he heads to his office after the surgery, and he begins recording his notes from the surgery. Damaged aorta, damaged pulmonary vein, widespread muscle degeneration, no hope for cure, therapy, painkillers, and bed rest, prognosis. Death within 1 year. He stops his recorder, and he just says out loud, God, why? Why did you do this? Why did you put this child here? You've put him in so much pain, and you've cursed him to an early death. Why? And the Lord said, the boy was not meant for this earth for long. He was part of my heavenly flock and will forever be. Here in my heavenly flock, he will feel no pain and will be comforted as you cannot imagine. And his parents one day will join him here, and they will know peace, and my flock will continue to grow. The surgeon's tears were hot, and his anger was even hotter. You created this child. You created this heart, but he will be dead within months. And the Lord answered, the boy shall come to heaven, for he has done his duty. I did not put him on earth to lose him, but to retrieve you. The surgeon wept, and he sat beside the boy's bed, and the boy's parents sat across from him. And when the boy awoke, he asked the surgeon, did you cut my heart open? The surgeon said, yes. The boy asked him, what did you find? The surgeon said, I found God there. The surgeon went forward with a renewed vision to end suffering associated with this condition for children. So today, what we're going to talk about is how that state of comfort can create complacency within each and every one of us, and may hold us back from actually achieving the vision that God has put for us, that has put within us. We're going to talk a little bit about how this discomfort is a blessing in disguise, and finally, how to know and grow your personal vision. Comfort is nice. We all desire comfort. Maybe some of us went to school and we learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We learned how human beings like to have shelter. We like to have food. We like to have security and relationships and all these wonderful things that make us feel whole and complete. And there's nothing wrong with that. Comfort feels good. We may reach a point of comfort in our lives when we've achieved some big goal. You finally bought your first house. You finally got that promotion. You finally started a business and, landed that first big client. Or the community knows about your business and there's constant activity in it. Maybe in the spiritual realm, you've disciplined yourself to consistently meditate a lot. It's a big accomplishment for you. And then sometimes as human beings, we sit back and we rest when we hit or we meet that accomplishment. And there's nothing wrong with admiring the fact that you have achieved something. There's nothing wrong with taking a rest after a long journey. But sometimes we continue to rest as if we have achieved all there is to achieve in that particular area. Some of us have been doing the same thing, same volunteer work, the same job, the same for so long. For a year has passed, 5 years have passed, a decade have passed, and we feel as though we are on a plateau or we have hit a slump. Maybe in our lives, we have had some other challenges and we have hit rock bottom. We have nowhere to go but up, but getting up seems nearly impossible. And there becomes or feels as though there is a comfort in that despair. You may have met these individuals. Maybe they have battled alcohol, they have battled drugs, they have had a very bad breakup with a significant other, and they develop a comfort in that despair. I have certainly been there. It's a difficult thing when you feel like you can't even get up to get yourself out of the comfort of being down. Now, when we realize within us that we are not where we want to be, we will feel a nagging feeling within us, something that is calling to us to be greater or to move past the place where we are. That begins a search for why we are uncomfortable at that particular stage of our lives. Sometimes we don't always know. When we're battling with an outside force, such as addiction or the breakup of relationships, something that involves other human beings or other aspects outside of ourselves, we know what the source of that problem is. The source is always within us, but we know what that external part of that external problem is. But many times we have to do a search for why we're uncomfortable in our lives. And then we begin a search for the solution to that discomfort. In that search, we sometimes take a number of different approaches to fill that void. One approach that I've taken in the past is the shotgun approach, meaning that I do a lot of different things to try to calm that uneasiness within me. Maybe I'll go this way. Maybe I'll go that way. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. When people are in the search or in a spiritual crisis, maybe they will look outside of the faith that they grew up in. Maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try that. Looking outward, outside of themselves for the answer to the nagging feeling within. With that, it produces a lack of focus and a lack of direction. Alternatively, sometimes we go after escapism. That escapism can take on a number of different avenues. So instead of searching for the thing or searching within us for how to quell that pain or how to overcome that discomfort, we say, you know what, we're not going to deal with it at all. I'm not going to deal with that discomfort at all. I just want to get away from it. I just don't want to deal with it at all. And there's a number of different ways where as human beings, we attempt to escape our problems. Sometimes it takes on the form of too much drinking. Sometimes it takes on the form of too many vacations, or we're buying material things, whether we can afford them or not, to simply fill that void within our lives. But as we all know, the true source or true comfort for the issue that we're dealing with is within us. That pain, of course, is a signal that something is wrong. We're all familiar with that. We know that if something hurts within our bodies or it feels off, we want to know what the cause is. Because only by understanding that cause are we able to figure out how to treat it. The same is with emotional or spiritual discomfort. We have to uncover that source of pain or discomfort. Now, it is beyond the scope of our talk today to really cover how to go about that. But what I can say is that there is a resource available at Centers for Spiritual Living. And what we provide are our practitioners. Our practitioners are actually trained to help you go through a process of uncovering that pain, uncovering that discomfort, going to that root cause, and taking you down a path and providing you with spiritual tools for not only alleviating that pain and discomfort, but for moving beyond it. Because ultimately, that's where we want to go. We want to move beyond that pain and comfort where? We want to move beyond that pain and discomfort to where? Not comfort, but actually to the next discomfort. Life, of course, is always going to have its challenges. We should never seek a life of ease. It is fine to relax and get some well-deserved relaxation on our path or on our journey in life. Whether we're talking about the physical world that we live in, our businesses, our education, things of that nature, or even spiritually growing and development, we go through cycles. We're going to be up and we're going to be down. That is life as a human being. We should never seek ease. Ease is a plateau, but life is constant change. And if we're not seeking that, challenge of facing that constant change, then we are not building our muscles in life, our spiritual muscles, to deal with pain and discomfort. In my youth, I was motivated to succeed in business, but not because I had some grand vision for the future, but more and less because I had a grand tour of living below the poverty line. So continuing along that path where pain is pushing me is unsustainable. Because as we become successful in a certain area of our lives, the sting of that pain becomes imaginary because you're far away from it. I'm blessed to say that I am far from poverty. So that no longer pushes me. In order for me to grow, you'll reach a point. No matter if we're talking about academically, career-wise, business-wise, if we're talking spiritually, you're going to reach a point where the only thing that will allow you to get to that next level is going to be your vision. That vision will have to be something that pulls you. It even says in scripture that without vision, the people will perish. There is a reason for this, and we're going to touch on that in a moment. I'd like to share a story again, another story. I have lots of stories this morning. An aging Hindu master was growing tired of his apprentice complaining all the time about the different challenges the young man was facing in life. And so he sent him to get salt. When the apprentice returned, the master instructed him to take that salt and put it in a glass of water. And then he tells him to drink it. "How does that taste?" said the master. He said, "It's bitter. It's disgusting." The master laughed and told him to take another handful of salt and walk with him. So they walked in silence down by a local lake. He told him to put the salt in the water, swirl it around, and take a handful of water and taste it. So he tasted the water. And he asked him, well, how does that taste? Tastes good. The water's fresh. Do you taste the salt? The young man said no. So he sat beside him and he taught him. The pain of life is pure salt, no more and no less. The amount of pain remains exactly the same, but the amount of bitterness we taste depends on the container that we put the pain in. So when you are in pain, the only thing you can do is enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass and become a lake. That is taken from a book called The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. That is why I mentioned our practitioners. Their job is to help guide you to enlarge your consciousness, enlarge your sense of things. You see, when you have a more grand vision for your life, you're able to better meet the challenges that you are faced with. When you are so focused in on your tiny world, every challenge that you encounter seems large and insurmountable. Many of us, when we were younger, can remember a certain time in our lives where we had a certain challenge. I'm going to use the business of living. We all had to figure out how to work and make money and those type of things and keep a roof over our head. It's a challenge that we all have to go through. And in that challenge, when the rent was due and you didn't quite have enough, you had more month left at the end of your check, or the power bill was due and your roommates didn't have enough money for their share, or whatever the case may be, you focused in on that problem and it seems like the world was crashing down around you. But when you were able to enlarge your vision about yourself, what you're trying to accomplish, you were then able to put that into perspective. And all of a sudden, the solutions to your problems came to you. All of a sudden, by enlarging your vision, you were able to hear the voice of God within you, directing you and guiding you, providing you with that which you need in order to move forward, that which you need in order to not only meet that challenge, but to move beyond it. As I mentioned before, our job when we encounter challenges, when we encounter pain in life, is not just to move to comfort. Our job is to move to the next point of discomfort. Our job is to grow ourselves, and we can do this through a specific tool that has been provided to us. That tool is called affirmative prayer. This can help align us with our true inner values. It can help take that which is in us, give us a vision to make us congruent. It can help us learn what our true desires are, because oftentimes we have these desires in life. We have these things that we say are values to us, but many times we are imitating things that have been taught to us in our homes growing up. Many times we're imitating things from the communities in which we operate in, which tell us that these are our desires and these are the things that we should strive for. We look at our neighbors, some of us, and we say, you know what, this is where I should be at this stage in my life. I should have a home like such. I should have a car like such. I should be doing such. Should. And as Reverend Trish say, you should all over yourself. It is important to figure out what is truly mattering to us. And we align ourselves with that, because that will only bring us happiness. That will only help us deal with that pain or discomfort which is inside of us. And finally, through affirmative prayer, it can help us develop a new vision for our lives. As we do this, we want to birth and grow our vision. The pull of the vision is superior to the push of pain. The reason why is because for human beings, seeing is believing. We talk a lot about faith. People in the spiritual realm, people in the religious realm, we talk about faith, but human beings, all creatures, work on sight. Seeing is believing is not just a cliche, but there is deep truth in that. Human beings believe what we see. The beautiful thing is that our brains can't tell the difference between what we are actually seeing and what we imagine. That is a blessing, and it could also be a curse depending on how we use it. I'm using that because we're talking about vision. That vision for our life, once it has been developed, if we are to replay that vision over and over and over in our minds believe it because it can see it. And by replaying that vision over and over within our minds, there is no room for us to think about the item that is causing us pain or the thing that is causing us discomfort. We are not dwelling on that item, because if we dwell on that, that becomes our reality. So we need to go through a process of birthing that vision. Affirmative prayer will aid us in learning what that vision is that God has for us, God has in us, God is us as us. Visualization practice will help us bring that vision into reality. And our affirmations are our verbal guides that keep us focused on those things that are for us. Comfort is a way station, not a destination. Let us put ourselves in a growth mode in regular periods in our life. Let me make sure we understand that. We're going to hit these points in life where we achieve things, where we hit a new level, where we get ourselves out of a rut, and we can congratulate ourselves. We can take our moment of rest and relaxation, but we keep on moving. Life is our journey. Let us always keep that in mind. Pain lets us know that something is wrong, and its job is to get us on the start or on the path toward healing, on the path toward our next level of comfort. And our vision is of a paramount importance. So it is important that we find it and foster it. I would like for all of us right now to say the following affirmation with me. You can say it in your mind, you can say it out loud. We're going to say this 3 times. My potential is bigger than my problem. Now together, everyone. My potential is bigger than my problem. Let's say that again. My potential is bigger
than my
problem. One more time. My potential is bigger than my problem. So as I leave you today, I have one call to action for everyone. Meet with your practitioner to begin this process. There are practitioners on the call right now, and for those who are on Facebook watching this, go to cslmetro.org. There's a button in the upper right-hand corner that will allow you to contact us, and we can work with you. Reach out to us. We are here as a resource for you. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you today, and so ends the lesson.
Thank you, Jason. Very, very good.
I was born to live life fully, to let go of regret, to walk the highway of life without a safety net, to follow something even bigger than my pride, to show up with courage even when I'm trembling inside. And I will not worry about what others think of me, the brightest star. On the trapeze of life, I just throw my heart right over the bar.
Wow. It's time for the portion of our service where we give back. We have certainly been given to in Jason's talk today. Thank you so much, Jason. That was so powerful. And now our center is radiantly prosperous in every aspect and expression of spiritual community, as love, growth, abundance, and overflowing good enabling us to fulfill our mission, which is to gather insightful facilitators and eager students, fostering a community that embraces and shares the transformative power of our beloved philosophy. Together, we are creating a ripple effect of positive change, inspiring lives and connecting hearts across the globe. And we are so rich here at CSL Metro in people, in ministers, in congregants, in practitioners. We are so rich in the people that we have here. And so please join me in our prosperity blessing. I know that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously share my supply with this spiritual center. And now we're going to put up the ways we have to give. We try to make it as easy as possible. And the first way that a lot of people like to use, I do, is Givelify. Just be sure when you want to give through Givelify that you specify Center for Spiritual Living Metro, as there are many centers for spiritual living that are using Givelify now. So if this is your source, please support this center. You can do it on a smartphone. You can do it on any of your iPads, computers, laptops, whatever. It's just www.givelify.com. The neat thing about Givelify is you can specify, obviously, the amount and where you want it to go. You can make it a one-time, you can make it a weekly, a monthly, a yearly, and it keeps track of your giving so that you can always go to Givelify and see what you've already done. And it's certainly useful at this time of the year when you're figuring your taxes. It'll tell you exactly where you've given and how much you've given. You can also go to our website, www.cslmetro.org, and click Donate. And that way you have the choice of either PayPal, if that's what you're familiar with, or Givelify. And of course, we accept checks. And you can send those to the address on your screen right now. So in order to give us all time to take care of that, we'll have some more music from Dan. Thank you.
Every minute of life's a chance to live in love. Every choice, every path, a chance to live in love. Every day of my sacred life, may I live in love. It grows up from a seed, bursting forth in sweet release. It's a river that will never run dry. It branches out and reaches up and keeps on going past the sky. Every minute of life's a chance to live in love. Every choice, every path, a chance to live live in love. Every day of my sacred life, may I live in love. It's not
Thank you, Dan, for the wonderful music today that you've chosen. And now it's time for a blessing of our giving today. And I know that this collection goes out to serve our community and the world. We are rich in blessings, and we share those blessings. We share our teachings. We share our wonderful ideas for how to live and prosper throughout the community and our country and the world. Our ripple effect is strong and continuous. And so I simply say thank you. Thank you for all that has been given today, all that we have been given today. And so it is.
So
Amen.
it is.
And I think it's time for announcements from Jackie. You're muted, Jackie.
That's okay, because our next Sunday, I thought we had a different speaker than Laura Tucker.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So next
We-
week, our speaker is Greg Coyle, who is a practitioner here with CSL Metro, and he lives in Oslo, Norway. So again, our international community, and he's going to be talking about that. We've been talking about divine discomfort this month, and he's going to be talking about that discomfort is the least of our concerns. So, whoa, if that's the least of our concerns, I'm going to be there to find out what else is there. So next, no, do we have an online course coming? Okay, no.
Um, I would
I don't-
suggest go to the next slide because apparently some older slides were
Keep going.
intermingled.
Keep going. Because the next thing I have on my list is that Jason talked about working with a practitioner, and our practitioners are available to support each and every one of us. And so if you would like to spend some time with a practitioner today, we have several of them online today, and we could, when we get to our social time, we could put you and them in a breakout room. You can also make an appointment for an actual practitioner session through our website at cslmetro.org. And then we have a lot of meditation opportunities every weekday, Monday through Friday from 8 to 8:45 on Zoom. There is a group that meets for meditation, and everyone is welcome. And there's we're definitely going to end by 8:45 so that anybody who needs to can get to work. And then Sundays, every Sunday here on Zoom, and even when we're in person, from 9:15 to 9:45, we have another meditation before our Sunday gathering. And the first Wednesday of the month, at 7:30 p.m., we have our life visioning meditation. And then so I'm going to insert one here. I'll let y'all look at that one about hang around to meet and greet one another on Zoom. But also for those of you who are interested, and those of you, well, we want everyone to be interested. So I'll just make that declaration that on March 2nd, we're going to have another congregational retreat. It's going to be online. It's from 9 to 12. And this one is titled, Where Do We Go From Here? And we have some exciting news that we have potentially found a place for us to physically meet in person. And it's pretty exciting. And that's the whole gist of it. And if you're on our mailing list, there was an email that was sent out on the 17th, which was yesterday, by Reverend Trish, letting you with a questionnaire on it to look at and respond to. And so with that, I will say now, join us on Zoom after this to meet and greet one another, catch up on everything, give your personal thank yous to Jason if that's what you would like to do. But before we do that, Dan has some more wonderful music for us, and then we'll say our closing affirmation.
On the bright side, nothing's gonna bring me down today. I'm talking to the mirror, say gotta get out of my own way. I'm on the edge of the beginning, I'm at the start of something new. I can see the silver lining, yeah, it's coming into view. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. I'm feeling good and loving life. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. I'm not gonna let no imperfection get me down. I'm not gonna Photoshop or filter any of me out. I'm happy in my skin, just being me, myself, and I open up my eyes to see that I am who I am, and that's more than alright. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive.
It is. It's a great day to be alive.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I think I'm the cheetah on that's laying there on the branch of a tree, on the limb of the tree, and I think I'm the kid that's up in the air, and yeah. Pick a picture. Which one are you?
All of them.
Okay, now our closing affirmation. Say this with vigor. Say this with meaning. Stand up if it helps you to get the energy going, and unmute so that we all say this as just cacophony of sound, and spirit is the universe will settle it, figure it all out, but say it with power. I leave
this place
now,
knowing
knowing
something
something better
better than I knew before.
I sure do.
I go
to the world
into the world with a heart full of love
mind full of
and a
mind
full
full
of good
of
sense.
good sense.
Yes.
I
look at the world
greater
greater way,
knowing that
I
have
have
within
everything
I
need
I
to
need
create the
the
life
life
I desire.
I give thanks
I
for this
give
understanding,
thanks for
this
this
understanding,
and I am
and I am
grateful for the spirit of
I'm
life
grateful
that
for the spirit of life
lives
that
lives
so
through
lives
me.
through me. And
It has me.
Oh, it is.
And so it is.
Yeah.
Yay!
so it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And have a great week, a wonderful week, an expanded week.
Most definitely. And I will stop our recording and officially declare our social time.